Welcome to Fanning Out, a podcast where we dig into our fandom. I'm Valerie Gritch, an independent fan studies scholar who wants to share our interests and examine why we feel the way we do about them. Basically, why does that thing matter to you and why should it matter to everyone else too? Let's get into it together. Today, this episode, we are joined by Jess. Please introduce yourself.
You might know me as Chaotic Dean on any social media that's available right now. I'm mostly known as a Destiel author, I guess, some part of the fandom, but I'm also a huge punk rock fan, and that was started with Green Day a long, long time ago, which is why I'm here and what I'm here to talk about with you.
Yes. I'm so excited because I also love Green Day, but not to your level, but I love them. I've grown up listening to them. They're such an iconic group.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us how you discovered Green Day?
Through a commercial, actually. It was '05, I believe. So right when American Idiot came out in '04. I'm in France, so I'm always like a little behind. And there was a commercial for a deluxe edition of American Idiot coming out in France, and that was like the shock I needed. I was at the time a classically trained musician. I was doing guitar, but like in the classic type of guitar. I was doing, I have no idea how to say that in English, like reading music,
Hmm.
what we call solfège in French.
Yeah,
So really the classic part of music. And then Green Day came in, and and that's when everything started for me. That was my first album that I bought with my own money.
oh,
Um,
amazing.
like the first one, I think I still have it. Like
Yeah,
the CD, it's like I can't even open it anymore. It's a relic,
yeah,
basically. But that was my first CD that I ever bought at the time, and that's how everything started.
that's amazing. And were they your first punk band as well?
Yeah, like my parents are not into well, my mom is a little bit into rock music, but like Foreigner, the Beatles, stuff like that.
More
Or
more classic rock.
right, and my dad is really into French music, so I wasn't really influenced by any of them to listen to punk music at
Hmm.
all. And Green Day was my it opened up doors to older bands like The Clash, the Ramones, the Buzzcocks, stuff like that that I didn't even know about. So that started with Green Day.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love it. I grew up, and my mother, my dog is resituating himself. My
My cat
mother,
just left,
yeah, my
basically.
mother is a big punk music fan. She grew
Oh,
up,
that's so cool.
yeah, thankfully she grew up in New York City. So she got to go to CBGB's and Max's
Oh,
Kansas
that's
City
cool.
and the Ritz and a bunch of these really famous clubs and see um, a lot of punk and new wave bands in the 70s and 80s.
So you were really influenced by your mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, and so Green Day was obviously being played on the radio um, in the 90s and early 2000s. So I knew of Green Day without realizing I knew Green Day. And then when I got older, I was like, oh, and I think it was that, like, I knew of them before American Idiot, but I think American Idiot was like the first new
Yeah. A,
album.
a
Because
lot of people our ages,
yeah,
like,
we're about the same age.
yeah, yeah, just discovered Green Day. Not really discovered because you knew of them,
Mhm.
but like it clicked with American Idiot because it was such a huge success, and their previous huge success was Dookie,
Yeah,
which came out in 94, 94.
I think
Yeah,
94.
94.
Yeah, I think they just had
94
the
is my birth
anniversary.
year. Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
my birth
goodness.
year. So, so I was like, obviously I didn't know it. And I remember when I discovered Dookie, I remember when I discovered that Green Day didn't have just one album, but
Hmm.
like before American Idiot, there were one, two, three, four, five, six albums, six studio albums to listen to. And I remember when I discovered that, and like my eyes just popped,
Yeah.
and I was still in high school, so that
You
was
were like, there's so much.
yeah. There's just so much already, and
Yeah,
there's so much since.
it's like a treasure trove. Like
Yeah,
you uncovered all the fun, all the music, and it's just an endless source of joy.
yeah,
I love that.
basically.
So how do you fan out? Like what are do you collect? Do you go to concerts?
Yeah.
Things like that?
So on the concert part, I've only seen them twice, I
Hmm.
think, because well, my family is pretty well was pretty I'm searching for the term right now, like strict.
Hmm.
So I wasn't allowed to go to huge concert for big artists until I was 20, which is weird because in France you're an adult once you reach 18. But when I reached my 20s, I went to the UK, and I went to my first concert, which wasn't Green Day. It was Old Town Low at the time, which we won't talk about. But I saw Green Day like in 2023 for the first time in Paris. And then I saw them again last year when they did like a surprise show at the Bataclan, which was you probably heard of that
Yeah.
because of the attacks. But it's a really small venue which can hold approximately 2K of people, I think.
Hmm.
And we managed to get tickets, and I was right in front of the console, and it was just like if I was in front. So
Wow.
that was amazing to see, and just be in the room with many of my friends actually that
Yeah.
I've known for many years. So I've only seen them two times, but that's gonna change soon when they stop touring again. And other than that, yeah, I collect vinyls, unfortunately, for my bank account. So, so I have basically all of their albums, at least one copy. I try not to let myself collect too much because I live in a small place.
Yeah.
But I'm collecting like special edition, colored edition, or
Yeah.
box sets, stuff like that. I've try to cut down a little bit on them. But if you can see behind me,
Oh, I can see
yeah, that's my collection right now.
a
So that's not
beautiful collection
Green
of
Day, but
vinyl.
I think I have about 20, which is the length of their discography right now. So I don't have all of it because some of the releases are really rare, like the live ones.
Yeah.
But I have a bunch, and that's about it. I mean, I don't collect very different things. I have various T-shirts and merch because I'm a merch guy, but
Hmm.
that's about it. I
So
don't
what
have
was
tattoos yet.
that's
It's gonna,
surprising.
yeah, that's surprising because like it was in the works at some point, but it's gonna someday it's gonna happen. I just know it. I just don't have the right idea yet, but
Yeah.
it's looking out because I've got a bunch of artist tattoo. Like I've got Frank's a tattoo from Frank
Yeah.
right here, and I've only known him for what? How long have we known each other? Four
Maybe
years?
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, so that's about
Yeah.
the time I've known about Frank. But that's a similar story too. I didn't know Frank before knowing you, which
Oh,
is
that's so
weird
funny.
because he's in some circle.
Yeah.
So
So
like I
we're
knew
talking
of him.
about Frank Turner for those who
Yeah,
don't know Frank just by his name Frank. Um, and actually when I first started listening to Frank Turner, he very recently opened for Green Day.
yeah.
which so a lot of people found out about Frank because of Green Day.
Yeah. And it's surprising that like I knew of him. I knew his name. I very frequently confused him with Frank Carter,
Yes, from
which
the
is
Rattlesnakes.
right. And I had no idea what his music was until we met. And when we met, I think FTHC just came out a few months after,
Hmm.
and that was another, like, that popping moment I was mentioning earlier. That was another one, and I think that's the twice that just happened twice for me.
Yeah,
This happened with Green Day and with that album from Frank.
yeah, and
So that's special.
FTHC, yeah,
Yeah,
FTHC is a really good, solid album from
yeah,
Frank Turner for sure. And I know what you mean, where you find an artist and
yeah,
you find an album, and it's interesting that we're having this conversation today when this
yeah.
past weekend was Record Store Day.
Yeah,
Um,
I was at Rico Store Day because of
yeah,
my work.
celebrating the love of
Yeah,
music and albums.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I was at it for a professional event because I sell vinyls. I send vinyls across the world for my everyday job, which is really cool. And I was on the on the search for some of the releases, and I got my
yeah.
the one I wanted. I got, so
Oh, that's
that's
awesome.
yeah, the Paramore one I got.
Oh, lovely.
That's cool.
They're so good.
Yeah, same,
Yeah.
same story. They opened for Green Day. I think that's probably how I heard of them.
Hmm.
I think at the time. So that was 2016. No, 2011.
Yeah.
But that's 15 years from now. I'm
That's
old.
crazy. We are old. I'm older than you. It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah. So what makes, and you kind of touched on this a bit, what makes Green Day and I guess Frank Turner or anyone else that's at that level for you different from your other musical tastes, perhaps, or other interests?
Yeah, it resonates. That's the best I can explain it to you. It resonates with something within me. Um, FTHC was a lot about lyrics.
Hmm.
American Idiot, I can't identify what it is. It's even bigger because it opened many stuff for me. Like I switched to an electric guitar like 3 or 4 years later. I got into a band for about 12 years. And like was saying earlier, my music taste really, um, how do you say that? Like it just, what
Like
is it?
expanded.
Yeah, that's the term. It expanded from there. Like it started with Green Day, and then I listened to Sum 41 or Simple Plan, and then all the bands that was mentioning before, and I got interested in the history of punk music, of Californian punk music too, because that was what was interesting for me at the time, and later on the UK scene, stuff like that. So it really like a Green Day even more than Frank because I'm older now, so I knew the scene where he came from. With Green Day, it was different because I was learning everything, and I was really young too. I was only
Right.
10,
Yeah.
so that's what's different for me than any other band. They're always gonna be on top for me, even if like they came out with some records I didn't resonate with. And that's fine. Like you can't love everything, but they're always gonna be my. I can't even say number one because there's another French artist that's my number one
Hmm.
because I've been raised listening to him. His name is Goldman.
Hmm.
Um, but that's a tie. Like Green Day is always gonna be on top,
Yeah.
and no like pun intended because I know you're thinking it.
They're always going to be the band that introduced you to so much,
Yeah,
though. And
yeah,
that's never
and
going to change.
I'm even gonna go further than that. But, I'm French, so English isn't my first language. I learned English at the time by both watching Supernatural, which started in '05 or '06. I don't
I think
remember.
'05, yeah.
'05, and taking my little dictionary, English to French, and translating the lyrics from the booklets of American Idiot
Oh,
word by
that's
word.
amazing.
And I think I still have it. Like, and it wasn't making any sense because you can translate lyrics word to word, but it helped me so much. And that's how I started learning English and connecting with other fans and connecting with my first American friends, which I still have today. So that was so momentous for me. Like, it was not just about the music, but about everything else. The tattoos, the mentality, politically, because I was super young, even if US politics is really different from us, from ours. But there's similarities. So even from a young age, you can understand what American Idiot is about.
Right.
And you can apply it to your own politics, even at 11 years old. So it was not just about the music. That's what makes it different. It was about my entire life.
That is so good. I love it. I'm like getting teary-eyed over here, genuinely. Um, because I know what you mean. I know, like, for me, that band was Sum 41. Um,
Yeah, you're a
uh,
huge Sum 41 fan.
yeah. So I know what you mean, and I love that you were translating the lyrics and that it
Yeah, and
was
I was doing like the booklet for American Idiot. Artistically speaking, is really well made.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go get it so you can see. But
Okay, yeah.
basically, I was drawing, redrawing the booklet during class,
Oh, that's awesome.
and like translating and everything. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
and get
Yeah,
the
go
see
get it. Oh, wow.
see how it's.
Yeah, it's all worn out because it's so well loved.
Yeah, I can't listen to it anymore because my car doesn't read CDs anymore,
Mhm.
and my old hi-fi stuff broke. Like, even the case is, I
It
don't
like
even know.
sticks, it's hard to open.
It opens, but it's like,
Yeah.
see. So basically, the booklet, if I can, the booklet is amazing.
Oh, cool. I don't have a hard copy of the CD, so I don't think I've ever seen it, but the way that it's
It's
all,
basically all lyrics sheets from Billy Joe.
yeah, in his
It's
handwriting.
Yeah, it's his handwriting, and at the time, I didn't know that you guys in the US um, write like that. You don't write like, how do you say that? You handwrite everything in capital letters,
Sometimes.
mostly,
Yeah.
like he does here.
Yeah. I
And
love
so
that.
at the time, I did the same thing, even at school. And I remember I was reprimanded for this, but that's the kind of impact that Billy Joe had on me and the whole band. And I was, yeah, redrawing the booklet and trying to understand what the words were about, trying to learn the song on the guitar. My first Green Day song I learned was Good Riddance. I think I can
Classic.
still play that one. So yeah,
So you mentioned that it connected you to the community and that you still have those friends today. Um, what
yeah,
other, like, what does the community mean to you?
it keeps lagging.
Hang on, you glitched for a minute there.
Yeah, it's lagged for a minute. But I got your question.
Okay.
I'm not as I'm not as part of the community as I once was when I was younger. Probably because I switched to Supernatural, honestly. But I still have those friends that I see and we go to concert together. And one of my best friend from this fandom is also in the Supernatural fandom. If she sees that, she's gonna recognize herself. It's her name is Anaïs.
Oh, I know
Um,
them.
yes, they go by
Yeah.
Sid.
Yes, I met them the first time I went over to see
Yeah,
Frank at Wembley.
yes,
Yeah.
and they're Green Day fan, they're Frank fan, and we've been to a festival together in Italy. We've been to cons together, so it's not just about Green Day, but and we met through Supernatural. But knowing I've known them before as their alter ego in the Green Day fandom was really funny. But I'm not as part of the community as I once was, probably because I'm old and the community is more on Twitter nowadays, and I'm not on
Mhm.
Twitter. But it's also because I switched to Supernatural. But they're huge community to into the punk music, and yeah, that's about it. That's what I can say about the fans.
That's so awesome though. That like I love that you can have a friend that you have the one fandom with and then it branches into other fandoms, which is
Yeah,
very much how our friendship is.
yeah,
Uh
basically, like we started with Supernatural, but then like Frank came up really fast,
yeah.
and then punk rock music, and then tattoos, and then
Yeah.
here
And
we are.
then we just constantly keep finding that we like the same things.
Yeah,
And that's
and
it's going to
you
be
mentioned
amazing.
Sum 41 earlier. I think I've seen them more times than Green Day by now. I've seen them 4 or 5 times. I've seen Simple Plan about 7 times. So Green Day is one thing, but it's not the band I've seen the most live. I'm gonna correct that soon, soonish,
Yeah.
whenever they came out with a new
It's
album.
not the amount of times though that matters.
No,
It's what it means to you.
I had like
And
plenty of opportunities to go when I was younger, and I was just stopped by my family. So
yeah.
I could have seen them like 6 or 7 times by now.
And what matters is how much they mean to you though. And
Yeah,
what
and they still
getting to
do.
experience those songs that you love
Yeah,
live is
and they
unlike
still
anything
do
else.
today. Like I'm 32. Um, Billy Joe especially has a huge um effect on me. How to say that? Like
Mm,
the way he speaks and what matters to him and what he's eloquent about is really important to me. And he's a special guy for me. There's
yeah.
not many, but that's him. Like he's one of my role model.
I think he's a role model for a lot of people too,
Yeah,
because he is so open about who he is
yeah,
and what he stands for. You know what you're getting with him and Green Day. But I think Billy Joel is so authentically himself,
yeah.
and there's no second guessing about who he is and what he stands for. And it makes it really
Yeah,
easy for
and
him
there's a
to.
part I haven't mentioned, but he's been really open about his fight with addictions.
Mhm.
Um, I'm a recovering addict. I was actually an addict through high school, so I was already listening to them. I had that part with me while I was going through detox and stuff, and he's been really open about that, even in the more recent years. So it was really important for me, and that's also why he's important to me. But like the whole band, not just him too. I know I talk about a lot about him, but Mike and Trey are the same.
Yes,
They're just
absolutely.
maybe a little less loud about it.
Hmm.
Even though when you talk about Trey, you can talk about someone who's not loud. But yeah,
I love that he's such a well-rounded figure for you.
yeah.
And
He's one of my first two. Like when you're 10 and you start listening to a band and you start getting role model figures at that point in your life, they're usually the one that sticks with you.
absolutely.
Sticks with you? Stuck with
Yes.
you. Literally.
Yeah. I love that. I love that you had somebody that's there for you that you can see like they're kicking ass at their recovery. I can kick ass in
Yeah.
my recovery.
That's basically what I had, and I had a bunch of songs about it too. So yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to what you said earlier, for those who don't know Just, they are an incredible author. They mention they're an author. Don't roll your eyes at me. Um, they make me cry. They make me curse them. They make me have emotions.
that's
Um,
that's how I
and
knew I did my job.
yes, and they write in English, and it's incredible that they are so talented, and that they can trace that talent that they have for words back to Green Day
Yeah,
and translating the lyrics from Green Day's album into their English,
that's
into
really
their
how I
French.
started. Yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah, I always find a way to like put something somewhere in any of my stories that goes back to Green Day, even if you don't know.
you
There's
know,
always
there's
there's
always a
always
little
a
thing.
reference. When
Yes,
they're not named, there's always a reference
I love it.
because they're that important to me.
Right.
Now that I'm saying that, it's really weird that I don't have a tattoo. I'm gonna get a tattoo. I'm getting tattooed in 2 weeks already. But now I need to get a Green Day tattoo because that's just not making any sense.
It will hit you when it's ready to hit you.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it took me a long time to get a Sum 41 tattoo as well.
yeah. Which one
Um,
did you get? Remind me.
I have Walking
Oh yes,
Disaster.
yes.
Yeah.
It's one
Um,
of my favorite songs.
it's one of my favorite songs. I have it tattooed on my bad leg, which I think is
Mm.
very funny.
Yes, it
Um,
is. I have a
and
whole, I think I told you about that, but I have a whole concept fanfic around that album of Sum 41
that's
um,
amazing.
that I'm gonna write one day, but right now I'm taking a big old pose that I need,
Yeah.
but one day I'm gonna write it
Well, then
because
I will read it and
yes,
probably cry.
or you will cry.
Oh
That's
no.
how I know I did my job good enough, well enough. That's the right
Yeah.
term.
Oh, I can't wait. Um, That's such a good album. But yeah, I got that tattoo the day after their final
Yeah,
concert
I
ever.
remember.
So it was very meaningful and I was glad to finally get it in Canada when I went up there. And you'll get your Green Day tattoo when you're meant to
Oh
get your
yeah.
Green Day tattoo.
The problem is that I have so many songs and lyrics that I love.
Yeah, that was my
Like,
problem.
how do you choose? Like
Exactly.
there's like 20 albums out. Like
Yeah.
how do and there's like an opera rock and there's a trilogy and there's how do I go from there?
Yeah,
But
and then
yeah,
you're
I
you're
think it's
like,
gonna
"What
hit me one day and I'm just gonna go for it when it does.
yeah, it's gonna hit you. You'll have the right idea
Yeah.
and you and your artist will make it happen and I can't wait to
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah. For sure. You'll be the first to know, probably.
Oh, hell yes. So, what else should our listeners know about your favorite band? What else should they know about Green Day that you think is important?
You need to see them live to understand what it
Hmm.
is about, which is like paradoxical for me because I saw them really, really late.
Same.
But I watched a lot of live performances before, and I knew that well before I saw them in real life. They're live, they're just like exponentially better than on studio, which is insane because on an album that they sound already insane.
Yeah.
On stage, like any of them is a performer. That's really the term. That they're not just artists; they're performers.
Yeah.
And like live, that's just a very different band. But also like somehow just as good, even better. And even if you're not a fan, that's what I've been telling everyone. Even if you're not a fan at the beginning, you will leave as a fan.
It's a whole experience seeing
Yeah.
Green Day because
And you know the
I
bits too. If you're like me and you've watched Bulletin Bible
Mhm.
over and over and over again, which is the live album that came out during the American Idiot era, um, you know the bits. You know roughly the set list. You know what's gonna happen roughly. You know what Billy Joe does. You
Right.
know what Trey is doing. So you know the beats, but
Right.
you're always going to be surprised. And I've been trying to like convince my parents to come with me next time. My nephew, who's about to turn 10, his favorite band is The Offspring.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
because of me and because of his dad, and we took him to see them in November, and we saw Simple Plan and The Offspring on the same night. And now he's been clamoring that he wants to see Green Day because that's his second favorite band because of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I will take you. Just you just have to wait that they're touring again, but I will take you, and I'm hoping to take everyone else with me
Yeah.
because I want them to experience that, even if they're not fans. Like just the well, the spectacle of it all is
Yes.
is amazing.
It is. Like they're one of the best live bands I have
Yeah.
ever seen. I've only seen them once. And I was
When
absolutely
did you
blown
see them?
away. It was the 20th anniversary tour.
Ooh,
Um,
cool.
so
We,
that
we
was really
yeah,
nice.
like that was that
That was
what
only
the
like two
last
years ago.
yeah, my
Yeah.
English left for a minute, but yeah. I remember the videos.
Yeah. I was sending them to you like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God."
Oh my god. Yes.
But
I
I
should
was
I should have
just
been seeing them 3 times on that tour, and I was supposed to go to Wembley to see them, but mental health took over and said, "Hey, no."
yeah.
So I basically didn't go on that tour at all, but I'm gonna go to the next one, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically see them live. See them live if you can. They're like one of the best acts I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot by that point, both because of my work and because of who I am as a person. But
Yes.
they're one of the best.
They really are. They put on such a fantastic show.
Yeah,
So would you say that if somebody had to listen to one album to get into them, would it be American Idiot or would you recommend a
yeah.
different album?
No, start with American Idiot, and then what I did was Dookie after that,
Hmm.
and then I went Insomniac, Nimrod, Warning. They came out with 21st Century Breakdown after that, and then I went backwards to their older albums before they went to Warner,
Hmm.
which is Smooth and Kerplunk, and then they kept coming out with more albums, so I just kept listening. And there are
Yeah.
a few records I don't really vibe with, but I listen to any of them honestly. But start with American Idiot because it's like if I was stuck on a desert island and I was only allowed to listen to one album for the rest of my life, that would be it.
Amazing. And
That
it's
would be
so good.
it's just so good. Like it's been well, how many years? 22 years since
Hmm.
it came out. It's still the same. It gets better with age.
Yeah.
It's like wine.
Delicious.
Delicious, delicious. Still here.
So good.
Yeah.
Is there anything
Yeah.
else that you want people to know about Green Day, about your fandom, about fandom in general?
Just go see them live. I feel like I've said that like 10 times already, but just, yeah, see them live if you can. Um, they make a point of having tickets that are not too expensive. I don't know if that's the case in the US, but I know that in Europe,
Yeah, they have them pretty affordable compared to what other
yeah,
artists go for.
like there's a cap that
Hmm.
they won't go over. And I think that's one of the many, many things that makes me love them even more. It's not too expensive. And that, yeah, just go see them live.
I love it. And I will be next time they're touring, I'm sure I'm going to be there crying about how wonderful they are.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll go to a date together.
That would be so good. One day we're
Y-
going to do something fandom together and it's going to be
Oh
amazing.
yeah. Oh yes, we will. In any of our fandoms.
In any of our fandoms. It's either going to be music or it's going to be supernatural, but it's going to
it,
be
it can
perfect.
be it can be historical too. You know that.
Ooh,
We can
that's
go to
true.
Normandy together.
We have to.
We have to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being my guest on this podcast episode. I hope you had fun chatting with me about your love of Green
I
Day.
did. Thank you so much.
And thank you, everyone, for listening.